I want to bring in crypto law founder John Deaton. John, I got to start with the news. Apparently, an ex-Coinbase product manager has been charged with what they're saying is a first of its kind crypto insider trading case. What's this all about?
Well, you called it right, Charles. Thank you for having me on. The former product manager of Coinbase basically was on what's called the asset listing team. And that's basically, they get to pick which crypto assets are going to be listed on Coinbase. Now, most importantly, he had information of when the public announcement of that listing would be made. And there's this phenomenon, Charles, called the Coinbase pump. Basically, as you can imagine, when a new coin gets listed on the largest exchange in the United States, there's a pump. And he was providing this information and tipping his brother and his friend as to when these announcements were going to be made, and they engaged in that trading.
Any chance he could use the Nancy Pelosi defense?
Well, when Congress exempts themselves from insider trading, I mean, that's a pretty powerful exemption.
Yeah. Hey, I want to stick with this Wild West theme because Congressman Tom Emmer said this week that the SEC is still actively pursuing cryptocurrency entities, and doing so, they're going beyond their authority, right? He says that Gary Gensler and the director of enforcement sent a sweep letter or sweep letters to jam them into a violation that is presumably prohibited. I mean, what is the deal with the SEC in this urge to just dominate this space?
Well, I got to tell you, I believe Congressman Emmer is on to something. He wouldn't have just made that up. When you couple what he was saying with the fact that Gary Gensler has doubled the enforcement division for crypto-related assets, it makes sense. But what they're doing, apparently, Charles, is they send these voluntary industry sweep letters, which is voluntary, to ask for information. And what Congressman Emmer brought out was that the SEC engages in what's called extra-jurisdictional requests. They don't have any business sending voluntary requests to these companies, and they're voluntary. If I'm on the attorney for one of these companies.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Coinbase insider trading case. They got away with $1.5 million. People, this is nothing but a movie. We know these big banks are getting away with billions, even trillions of dollars. The SEC has done nothing. But we know what Gary Gensler has to do. He has to get rid of 99% of these cryptos. And yes, some of them are definitely fraud projects. But as we know, there's definitely going to be an event that's going to crumble crypto to make it seem like it's not going to be the future. But remember, guys, the goal of the NWO is to build this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And I'm going to leave you with this video of the automation. The cars won't have steering wheels or pedals. Now, this video is in China. But guys, the laws have already been passed are in the United States. No steering wheel, no pedal. That means they don't want you, humanity, driving cars anymore. And a lot of these cars are not going to be made anyway. We see these car companies cutting down on the models that they're making. And I played that Andrew Yang video to let you know everything he stated is coming true. They're just slowly moving automation through the economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Have jurisdiction, and they're not supposed to hold it against you, but they do.
Yeah.
And the director of enforcement said something dangerous. He said, quote, "We are not limited to our jurisdiction when it comes to subpoenas."
The bottom line is it sounds like pure intimidation, plain and simple. Let me ask you about your legal battle on behalf of holders of XRP. How's that going?
Well, talk about the Wild Wild West, Charles. I can't talk about the underlying issues, but the SEC has asked the judge to throw me off the case and to revoke amicus status to my clients. They're doing that on the eve of summary judgment motions being filed next month, which is the most important part of the case, as you can imagine. So that's where we're at now.
Last time we spoke, you had like 68,000 in this class action suit. What's the number now?
68,875. Actually 885, and it grows each day, Charles. It's the first time in history that almost 70,000 retail holders of an asset from over 90 countries around the world have come together to fight this government overreach.
John, I got to let you go, but in general, you know, crypto's had a rough patch here recently, but so has every asset out there. I actually have been more impressed with Bitcoin and some of these others now, coming through this, than I was even before this. I mean, is this something we can take positives, we can take away from the way things have been handled?
Absolutely, Charles. It's called growing pains, as you know, but think about Celsius, BlockFi, 3AC, Vald, CoinFlex, all these companies going bankrupt on these high leveraged, you know, strategies they're engaging in. And there were a lot of predictions that Bitcoin would go sub 10,000. It hasn't, doesn't mean it won't, but it's holding up pretty well. I think it's, in the long term, it's great news for the asset class. I
got to tell you, John, good luck to you. I'm not sure what's this all about, trying to kick you off the case. Maybe you should.
500 self-driving taxis are part of a pilot project in 10 Chinese cities to help transform the search engine giant into a leader of automated driving technology. The fleet has clocked 20 million test miles and 1 million rides and is to expand to 65 cities by 2025. To take off, you press this screen. The car weaves through traffic. The final frontier of autonomous ride-hailing is to get around without a steering wheel, he says. The holy grail for all the competitors on this crowded path.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see the 4th Industrial Revolution, foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.